All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order of legislative on Monday, May the 12th at 5:30 PM. Commissioner Teacher, would you pray?
Sorry. For the folks at home, I'm eating beef jerky this way. So, Heavenly Father, we love you so much. Thank you for the chance to come together, Lord. I pray that you please forgive us, Lord. Forgive me for eating this. I pray that you'll please just watch over our votes, Lord, direct our paths. Allow our minds to be clear. Allow our hearts to be turned toward the people, Lord, and everything that will give them the best result, Lord, that they want, and the reason they elected every one of us, Lord. I praise your name. I lift you high, and may you be glorified in everything, even the fun. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. And the Bible says the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? So, a merry heart doeth good like medicine. We need some medicine. I was thinking about asking to pray. I wasn't just being facetious, but I was like, well, I'm going to take advantage of it now.
Oh, I love it.
Let's have a little fun. All right.
It's fun.
Do we before we approve the agenda, there were 3 items. Commissioner Ring, 1, emailed to have a recognition of teachers and support staff. So I'm going to add that as E.
For a specific thing, or is it an annual thing, or what?
He just said, I'd like to add recognition of teachers and support staff to the agenda, please. So that is pretty much all that.
I think they had a county.
I believe he's referring, because he mentioned something to me, like the annual, like, teacher of the year type of honorees. I believe that's what he's.
So names are probably coming forth
Yeah.
between now and commission.
So we add that. And there was the law director's office asked for something to be added about a property title to the agenda that they need to get to the commission. And then I believe, it wasn't quite an ask, but county mayor about this 3-star program, which I do have questions about. So we'll add the, under new business F, we're going to add the law director's item.
What is the law director?
It's on the title. It's on this document right here now.
Oh,
It's just to get a lien release on a piece of property.
And G will do the 3-star grant. All right, those are the 3. And Commissioner Millie, you have an addition?
Well, not an addition, but under 10D,
Okay.
that's misspelled, it's Jewell, so I don't know.
So we'll correct the recognition of Jewel, Jewell, for the minutes and for the recognition. All right, any other additions to the agenda? Have a motion to approve as amended?
moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, agenda is approved. Approval of the minutes from April the 14th, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion by Commissioner Miller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Teacher. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Recognition of the public. 425 AB Wade Road. 424. You would think I would know that for 7 years. Oh, man. All right, seeing none, we will close public comment. For the chairman, I have none. For the county mayor, don't see these here. Item 9 under new business, veteran service report and presentation. Mr. Oakley.
Biggest thing I really want to point out, we had $100,000 debt to the government that we wiped out last month in 2 different cases, where the VA made some mistakes. We kind of pointed them out to them and saved our county citizens a couple of $100,000. We also had 3 highlighted where we had walk-ins that we had helped out directly with getting several different benefits issues together, and then a budget note. And today was our first day with the new Tennessee Veterans Benefit System, and we're still plugging and playing and trying to work our way through it. It's going to be a learning adjustment, basically. We're trying to figure out where all the new forms and everything are. And I think that the next slide on the agenda relates to that, so I'll stick around if there's any questions.
All right, anybody got a question for Mr. Oakley? All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we have the Veteran Services MOU, pages 8 to 11. Do I have a motion to approve?
motion approved.
Motion approved by Commissioner Becker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Millard. Is there any discussion or questions?
I just have a quick question.
Okay, Commissioner Millard.
I mean, is this new or different, or are there changes, or just continuing with what we've already been doing? I mean,
Mr. Oak, can you?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by
Second.
Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Oak, do you have a, what is different? Is this new?
This is a renewal, they, about every 5 years, they renew. We are all accredited to the Tennessee Department of Veteran Services. That's a requirement for us to hold our position. The main new thing that is in here is in paragraph 4A, roles and responsibilities. The state is now paying our software licenses for this management software that we're starting to use. That's the main new addition. It represents a cost savings to the government in terms of software licensing. Everything else is pretty much continuing as it has been for at least the last 10 years. But they renew this every 5 years, and I think the 5-year renewal is captured in one of these paragraphs. But this is basically a renewal with the exception that they're paying for software.
Any other questions?
Bring it back.
We'll bring this back in session. All right.
Motion to approve.
We already did. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item C is a resolution appointing judicial magistrate to fill vacancy, Mr. Daniel Stevenson. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Becker to approve. Do I have a second?
Do we, can,
I'll second it for discussion.
yeah.
Is there
Does
any
it say
questions?
something about who he is? Or who's
I don't.
vetted by, or who's nominating him?
Mr. Aldridge, do you have any, I mean, this is
They're no
something we do-
longer under me, but I do know that usually the lead magistrate is the one that fills these vacancies, so this would have been somebody that met his approval.
I mean, this is something we do quite often.
And they can only be
Seems like we're doing
appointed
this
by
more than once.
resolution of the commission.
Like a notary. More important. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item D is a resolution recognizing TDOT for the Cottontown drainage improvement work. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. I'll get in the queue just really quick. This was something that we talked about in Gen Ops, and it's something that Commissioner Jones might want to speak to a little bit more. This is your motion to send this, do you want to explain this?
Yeah.
While we're doing this?
So, in working with TDOT and TDEC and Josh Suddeth and a few other fellow commissioners, we realized that it was kind of special that TDOT did step in and do something like this, that they don't get as deeply involved a lot of times, but wanted to commend them for going out and doing this for us in a pretty timely manner. And Josh thought it'd be a good idea to just recognize them, to help build the relationship with them more for future things possibly. That's what it basically entails.
Yeah, and they did clean out the southwest portion of the creek and half of the northeast. There's still some that would need to be done between the county and the property owner right there, but this is what the Gen Ops Committee had sent the budget for, asking for the $10,000 those 4 times. But then TDEC got involved with it because the county we weren't approving it, and then TDEC got involved and they cleaned it out. TDOT, but they got a permit from TDEC.
Yeah.
Then TDOT got involved, but it definitely was not something they normally do, so the fact that they did something is actually a pretty big deal, so.
This also will help them get recognized by the state for, when they go ask for more funding or something like that. It shows some of the work that they do in the communities, and so it'd be a good little feather in their hat to do that.
And I
So
did put
thought it was nice to.
together before and after kind of both of these situations and the area maps so people understand where that is, so. All right, any other discussion? Or?
No, just a big thank you to
Yeah.
them.
I think it's cool.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item E is the Sumner County SS4A grant application request from Mr. Ellis in the Highway Department. He is here. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Ellis, would you mind coming up and just kind of explain this to us?
This is the SS4A grant. It's a grant that several of the highway committee, highway departments across the state has went after and got. It's used several things, the roadway grading system, some of them got that. And then also there's a comprehensive safety action plan that's part of this too. That's the two things I'm going after, is that and the inspection roadway system. And it's not just for the highway department. I mean, the comprehensive safety plan can work for EMS, EMA, the schools, the highway department, and also the sheriff's department. And that's where we kind of get together. I mean, Hickman just finished theirs, Montgomery just finished theirs, Wilson just finished theirs, and it just gives us a platform. When we do a study, is basically they get the facts and figures and get the actual data and the facts to back it up, to make sure that the unsafe conditions that we have across the county are valid. Right now, I've got a bridge that needs to be, that I'm gonna try to get either federal or state funds for the next year or two. And basically, it's harsh lane. It's maybe a lane and a half bridge, and it needs to be wide, and it's old, and it needs to be replaced. But bridges, as you know, are budget breakers, and so what we try to do is go through state aid or federal grants to get them replaced, because it costs so much to replace. And so this kind of creates a platform on the comprehensive safety action plan for us to get other monies. And basically, you can get up to $5 million if you so choose. This what I'm asking for is like $475,000, and it's that will cover that, but it also puts us in the running for other things, for other departments. And so it's an 80-20% split. The $475,000 would be, if we got approved, would be like we would have to pay $95,000. But on the roadway system, I mean, they cost anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000. That's a bargain, especially what we could get. And of course, when they go through and do the roadway inspection system, they do all 800 miles of the roadways. It has all the signs, all the grading and rating for each road, with a condition rating on each road. You can, if I had to come in here and talk about a road or a project, I could just pull it up and go off our GPS, and we could drive the road, and you would see a breakdown on the conditions of the roads and the cost to repair it. And so the cool thing about it is the commissioners, the citizens, everybody that goes there, they'll see the highway department is doing worst first. And so they will see the conditions of the roadway ratings and see that's the roads that we're fixing. And then they can come in and see the list, and it's really neat. It just kind of puts us in the 21st century as far as our action plans for our roads.
So this is pretty much for the plan,
Yeah.
to be able to do that cataloging of all the 800 miles of roads.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
keep that database.
Yes,
Is it an
all
interactive tool? Is it
It's all 800 miles of roadway. They have to write them all. And of course, I used to do it when I was a consultant and had a program that we built. And we did work for Middle Tennessee. And it was something that they basically have a truck that can drive 25 to 30 miles an hour, and it downloads all the information, the signage, the stripes, the roadway conditions, all the stuff. And the thing that makes it downloads each address. It's on every road, even the most northern part of the county where Google Maps don't pick up, you'll have every address. So it would be something that the sheriff could go and look at the address on the road that Google Maps can't pull up. So it would be a good tool for several different things. But the roadway rating will be great. You pull it up, it's color coded, it's in real time. The roads that we pave, they turn a certain color, probably green, showing that it's in the 90 to 100% range. But like I said, tonight is just about applying. Can't say 100% that we would get it, but I would like to apply for it.
Questions for you first, but possibly him also. Does this committee have to grant permission for the application? That's where that starts?
Yes.
So this was supposed to be a presentation made to the highway department, but it got canceled because the presenter couldn't make it. So I would have liked to have heard a little more about it, but I was also told that Gallatin, the city, is also looking at this same project or program by Commissioner Janone. And I was wondering if there was any talks between you and the city of Gallatin that
We have talked to
could possibly share this program or work together with it.
We have talked at different times, but the cost is still the same. It would be something that we could probably do something like that with them going forward, but I gotta apply for it first.
I mean, this is 800 miles,
That's just county.
that's what I thought, it's not city roads, it's county.
No, it's just county, but it
No,
could
but it's a
be,
program.
it
It
could be,
apply to any
it could
road
be
system.
something that could add to it, but one of the things when I went and talked to the state last year that we were working on, the state was trying to get state aid funds to do it, because the state was interested in interacting with the counties and seeing, they could go on the sites and be interconnected with them to know what roads are the worst and what roads are paved and things of that nature, but they couldn't get that worked out, but this is something that, I feel very strongly about, and I think it would be a great thing for the county.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing. I want to understand more about it. I was hoping to hear something last week in Highway. But is this something that straps to a truck that's like a Google car that is constantly mapping as it's driving and rating conditions visibly and by
It does,
feel?
the company does it, we don't do it.
So they're running around doing it for you?
Yes, yes,
And the price is based on how many miles there are?
yes. Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Teacher?
And I will say this, just because I apply doesn't mean I'm gonna get this, but it's something that at some point we'll get this, and it's just a way of saving 80% of the money.
So, my question is, I've got a few questions here. So, it seems like a great idea just in theory, but I think it sounds expensive to continue to update, like whenever that we have a pothole come up, for instance. Like I think it would probably be a little bit easier to say, oh yeah, we updated that because we fixed that bridge or whatever. But if there's like cracking and like a flood situation or frozen, all the things that you've seen.
A quick drastic change.
Yeah, some quick drastic change would not be updated, number one. And then I'd like to know how, like, are we gonna have to hire these folks to come out with taxpayer money again to do that?
They do update it, there is a service that you do, but it's also, it would be the same if I was doing it, it's gonna be a cost to it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do we know what that cost is?
It's something that I would say it would probably be, in the $15,000 range yearly. And it's something that, and it's based on how much work I get done. It might not even be that, it may be half that, but the thing of it is that it creates a system that we can look in real time what our roadway ratings are. And I used to do this, I'm just telling you, to do 800 miles, I used to go in and do the cities and, they had 40, 50 miles, and it took me a month and a half to do it, to write them and download them into the computer and do this. The technology's just gotten so much better.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because I don't see, you may be correct, but if it's $475,000 to do it this time.
No, it's not that. There's the comprehensive safety action plan, it's $175,000.
Got it.
The roadway inspection rating system is $300,000.
Okay, so if it's $300,000, then I would think that to do it properly,
But we're paying $95 for all of it.
Oh, I understand, but the next time we may have to pay the whole thing. And I would think, it would
No,
seem like there would be what's the software cost? Like just the software alone, like if you didn't put any data in it. Do you know what that is?
No, there's a companies do this, and this is what they do for a living. They go in and do it, they don't break that down.
There doesn't seem to be, it seems like there's a giant gap between what we know and what we don't know. And I like the idea of it, but I think that if it's $300,000, or if we pay $170,000 for the study, or whatever it is, so, and then we do the $300,000 is gonna have software and,
Well, they're two separate things.
but $300,000, then I would think it would be a lot more than $10,000 to $15,000, every year. It would seem
It would
they need to go
still-
the whole 800 miles.
It would,
technically, you know?
It's relative to what I'm doing. I'm doing several $1 million worth of roads today, a year. And the thing of it is that we got to keep up with it and be able to talk about it. And it'll be something that will just add value to the citizens of the county. They can go and look at the GPS, look at where the road is rated. They can see, hey, my road is rated one of the worst roads. I'm probably gonna get a road test.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's
I mean, what
what,
we do now is very generic.
so, do you know the recurring cost of keeping this system in place?
Again, it's relative to how much we get done. If I pay more, it's probably a little more. If I don't pay as much, it's a little less.
But the thing is though, is what I'm trying to explain is if we're using taxpayer money, there's so many unknowns because it's not just how much you get done, it's how much damage is done too. So those two things are gonna like not quite even out. I know you know more about it than I do. I'm just saying, we know a pothole pops up, you didn't cause it.
Well, they're not reevaluating everything every year. It's just a small amount that they're reevaluating. It's the work we've done. That's it. And then what we'll do is after 4 or 5 years, after we get a certain amount done, then we don't have to reevaluate the whole 800 miles again because we already have the signage. We already got a lot of stuff in place that we don't have to touch anymore.
So if you aren't, okay, just saying, what you're doing right now, taking that into consideration, what will the recurring cost be?
It's the same question you've asked me 3 times.
I know, but the thing is that's the answer that I need to give the folks who voted. I mean, it's not that I don't want it to happen.
There'll
It's
be a
not my money.
recurring cost, and usually every other year, but I can't tell you what that, it's not gonna be $300,000. It's gonna be a few thousand.
Can you get me a hard number on what that would be? Like really, really close, like in writing on what that number would be from them?
I could get close.
Cause I don't feel comfortable voting for something just a non-number. You know,
I mean, you have another chance to turn it down. It's not just tonight, but I can get you that more information.
if you would, I would
Sure.
really appreciate that. Thank you.
Jerry?
So from a procedural standpoint, I got a couple questions. Right now, they ask is just to apply for it,
Just
and
apply.
as you said, you may not even get it. But
Right.
but if you were to get it, then it would come back to budget, I think, because you would need the $95,000 local.
Well, and the thing was, we'll.
Correct.
If we did that, we would have the seminar, we would have the people come in and do what they
Yeah.
were gonna do the other day. We would do
Yeah.
that for y'all, and we would answer all the questions.
Yeah, because I have a lot of, thank you, I have a lot of the similar questions about just what the recurring costs and how it all
Sure.
work. But I feel comfortable at this point in time to at least proceeding with applying for the grant. That's where I stand, so thank you.
So just to clarify, because I thought that in order for this, we were committing to the 95, no matter what.
We're just applying, don't know if we'll get it, James.
But there's no commitment
And
at all.
there's no commitment. If they come
I'll
back
clarify.
and they said, hey, yes, you got it. But before that, if it looked good, I would sit down with y'all and go over all of this. We were gonna try to do it in highway last week, and Chad had a family issue that came up, and he had to leave town.
Okay, I'll direct that to the chairman. just
So-
to be curious.
Basically, we have a policy for a pre-approval, so we don't get called off guard for stuff, but the consternation that I know that you're probably gonna go through is that it's almost like, okay, let's say, we apply for this, we get granted it, but then you don't like the carrots that come with it, and then you wanna reject it, and then it's almost like the paint feels like it's a little on the barn, and a little bit of that's where pain points come. I'm just being transparent, Toby. So, and that's where it's like, okay, well, we've already applied for this, and we're going to lose money. You just cost the taxpayer $100,000. I mean, that's always the narrative that legislators get beat over the head with that stick. And that's just what department heads do. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just saying in general in the county.
That's my
that I've
biggest
seen. And so, I mean, that's just kind of what I understand where you're going with that. But technically, we got to approve for him to apply for this. And then if he gets granted, and it comes back through to go again through the committee process, that would be through budget, and, more likely, or the highway department, start the highway committee and then through budget. And then to see if we wanted to apply that $95,000, what strings come attached, such as what fees and services. It says 15, 20 grand a year. You said it could be, I don't know, is that in perpetuity? I don't, it didn't seem like it was gonna be. I understand what he's talking about. It could be decrease or increase based on the amount of mileage that he's done. It gets rescanned, and then you're done with that. But it sounds like, I did have a question as far as the comprehensive safety action plan versus the pavement condition inspection asset management plan. Can you explain the difference between these two? I wasn't quite understanding that.
Okay, the comprehensive safety action plan is basically where EMS, EMA, me, Sheriff Department, school board, we all talk about the safety issues that we're having. For me, it would be some bridges. And each one of us would have different things to where, I think Hickman, Montgomery, and Wilson just finished theirs.
Talking about the comprehensive safety action plan
Yeah,
portion.
and it's a good thing to go through because it really creates the things that, I have questions about. We build a fact-based study on it to make sure that the data, backs up what we're thinking. And then it just puts it into print to where you can sit there. If we do file for another grant or try to do something within their departments, the study's already been done, and we have a full understanding of what it is. I'll give you one example. I know something I've been working on, that Jamie, you've mentioned it, is Latimer Lane, long haul pipe. It's a big worry for me. I think that's something that me and Marshall and Josh has talked about on several occasions, and we're trying to figure that out and get the money for that, because it's an issue. It really
Yeah.
is. We've got 3 schools, and what worries me is like when they're pulling out of Hunter, and the traffic is backed up so far, and they can't get out. You've got these 16-year-old kids that just started driving. By the time they get down to Long Haul Pike, they're gonna risk it. And you know what I'm saying, they're gonna chance it to pull out in front of an 80,000-pound dump truck.
I don't know.
And so-
And they do every day.
Yeah.
I see it every day.
So who does the plan for $175,000? Like who does that?
It would be Collier Engineering. I mean, we don't pay them, but they'll get money from the grant to do the study.
Okay, so that's something that an engineering firm would get for that $175 and the $300,000. That's the software mapping tool,
Everything, yeah.
labor and system.
Yeah.
Initial cost.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Jones.
Just a point of clarification, the state's working on that intersection of
Oh,
Latimer
yeah.
in Long Hollow.
Yes, and we checked on, what do they call it, the Metro Department. I met with them the other day about, rating the projects that are coming. And that's one that I told Josh, I said, if we could figure out where to get the money and get some help there, that's one that ought to be at the top of the list. So, yeah, the state is working on it, and I've met with Jay Norris and Nathan Batter about it, and then it's, they're looking at it. They did a study, they did one study, they're going back and looking at it.
So, well, I'm sorry, you're still fine. You're still fine. Go.
Good.
Was this prepared by you, this right here?
Oh, no. Collier Engineering.
He's about the one sheet, the 2 pages.
Page 17 in particular, the bold print highlighted. I just want to make sure that was an accurate statement that Sumner County says, while Sumner County is technically covered by the GNRC, the responsibilities, focus, jurisdiction, and budget of the Sumner County Highway Department is separate from the NPO. Are we covered by the GNRC? Because it's my
Well,
understanding we're not involved with the GNRC.
We're in the area, their metropolitan area is what they're saying, and so they put that in the description to make sure they just got a $5 million grant. And so when we're applying, we've got to put that in there so they'll understand we're separate from the GNR, the GRC.
Okay.
So I just question, because of just from a different committee, actually from this committee, I believe. What happens if this company if everything gets approved and it all goes through, and we get the grant, and we pay the $95,000, and the state pays other, and then what happens if this company goes out of business and we can't access this data any longer? Because that happens regularly. We're even dealing with it right now with another issue, and so I'm just curious how that looks. Where's that information stored?
Well, we would have all the information, and this is, I mean, I guess, it's equipment and programming that we could probably get another company to pick it up. If that happened, they would be contractually bound to us to make sure that they got that corrected if they did.
Read that contract.
Well, and yeah, there's a lot of questions I have, but would this have to go out for bid instead of it going just straight to Carter Engineering? I have nothing for or against Carter Engineering. I'm just saying, like, would this just go straight to them and that's the only option, or what is that requirement of the state and the contract?
If we got the grant, it would go to them.
Is that something that the state has said has to happen?
No, they're the ones that are helping with the grant. It's something that I know the programming, I know them, and I know how good the product is, and it's something that I was really wanting to show y'all. I think when you see it, you'll be really amazed.
No, I'm not saying that. Don't misunderstand, but is that legal for it just to go straight, no bidding?
I'm gonna let the law
And I
director.
was gonna ask you to ask the law director that.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but this is all grant driven. The decisions, the choices, they're all grant driven. That would be correct.
And the thing is, the grant, they're very good at this. This is the reason I chose them. Multiple counties use them for that reason. They're good at getting grants. They know they have the relationships with the state and the feds of what to do and make sure that everything is right.
I'm gonna let Mary go.
Yeah, I was looking at U.S. Department of Transportation and what this is about, this grant. And I questioned, one of the things is that do you already have a plan in place that you're going to emulate one further, or is this a new plan that you're carrying forward? Because there's grant deadlines for.
We have to apply by June 26th.
Yeah, so you're kind of doing the 7 components of the action plan, and this is new for you, so, okay, so you're not, right now you don't have a plan.
No, we don't.
Okay.
But that would start if we were granted, it would be something that we would put together with all the heads of all the departments.
Because there are deadlines on if it's one.
But the application will just have to be applied by the
But
26th.
I will tell you, there is a video from U.S. Department of Transportation on here about this particular grant that you could watch, and it kind of maybe explain some of what you're asking.
Tim?
Just a question to learn, how is it possible that a company can partner with a state or federal grant to where they get to benefit from that without going out to bids? How's that possible? Anybody could educate
They're the
me on
ones
that.
applying for the grant for us.
And that's where GNRC comes involved as well. And
We're not in GNRC.
I know this is not directly applicable to what we're discussing now, but I do have GNRC scheduled for the June 9th budget meeting to come out here and explain exactly what they do and offer the county, because there were some questions about why are we paying them and what do they do. So they will be here on that day.
Thought we did not pay them anymore. We pulled out of that 2 years ago.
We don't pay them anything, so.
There was something that came up, and they specifically asked me to reach out to them to have somebody come address those issues.
I don't think we give them money.
So Carter's the one applying for the grant for us. They're just letting us know it's available.
Correct.
That's right.
Any other questions?
So we're here with
Commissioner
Josh.
We are under GNRC.
Explain, when you say we are under them, meaning we're in their
Well,
geographic
we're in
jurisdiction.
collaboration with them.
The county's paying them still?
We found that out in budget because I thought I
thought
was the
we-
one who led the effort to
Yeah.
get us out of it, but we found out we are still in it, so
How,
that
can you
relates
explain
back.
that, or Commissioner Shelby?
Yeah, so Mr. Hyde is referring to we were going through this during our budget committee meeting. We found a line item that I too had thought we had struck.
We did, it was
regarding-
$45,000.
Regarding paying dues, well, it's more than that now, regarding paying dues to it. And I believe we preliminarily struck it again.
Any more questions for Toby? I don't want
Yeah, bottom line is, we are still paying those dues.
And they are coming to the
And they are
June
coming
9th meeting.
we're doing the same thing with them that we did with the RTA. And, we ended up pulling out of the RTA.
And I
So-
think the question was, were the municipalities coming in underneath our
Right.
membership as an umbrella?
So no reason to go down into too much more detail, but at the end of the day, as a matter of fact, we are still paying our dues to the GNRC.
Okay, well, I thought we
I
had
did
killed that
I
a
did
year or two
too.
ago in budget, so pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
So, any more questions for Toby before I bring us back to session? All right, thank you, Toby.
Hey, Richie, you got that.
Hey, I was getting ready to say, Kevin Cannell called me today and wanted me to thank you again for paving that. It was about a 2.5 foot deep, 3 foot wide pothole originally in my district.
It was huge, and I was getting ready to go talk to the mayor, and I told them that, and so I was just really tickled they got it done, because I mean, literally.
He said you got it done the same day.
It took longer, it would have took longer to drive down there than to do it, right?
Right, well, thank you for doing that. I was gonna thank you for that, so. All right, I'm gonna bring us back into session. Do I have a motion, for,
I have a question, actually.
well, let's get a motion for discussion or a motion for.
I'll move to approve it.
We have a motion for approval by Commissioner Schoaf, a second by Commissioner Becker, no, Commissioner Miller.
Just a really quick question, really probably for budget chairman, if that's possible. But, I mean, is it feasible to come up with $95,000 for this?
Max grant, to match the grant.
I mean, listening to the question, and I apologize for being tardy. If it's a one-time fund, I would tell you that I have if it's a one-time ask for $95,000, I have.
Every other year, it's gonna be a recurring fee.
We don't know that.
We don't know how much.
We just,
Yeah,
but we have no idea.
We don't,
We don't know
so
that
I'm,
yet.
I'm comfortable, here's what I tell you, I would be comfortable for the first, when I heard the answer of, and I'm going under the assumption that answer is, we don't know what the recurring funds
He
will
said it could be
be.
$15,000 to $20,000 a year, 5 to
You're
7.
right,
we don't know.
so, here's what I would tell you, for a one-time upfront fee,
It's not
we're
mentioned
in
here.
fine shape.
Yeah, it is.
To open up and that's where I think we are now, but I wouldn't be comfortable with an open-ended year-over-year amount that I don't know. It's the recurring stuff that gets us. I know that's not like a yes or no answer, but that's kind of where my mind is at. But I will tell you, I believe that we're only looking at the one-time fee today, and that doesn't bother me at all, my opinion.
You're looking at the one-time fee plus the recurring yearly software fee that is yet to be determined. There could be $15,000 to $20,000, it could be $5,000.
But we can make that decision,
Can we now?
when we get to it. Yeah, we can make that decision. I mean, if somebody comes back and it's $200,000 a year for software, that's a decision that, or like ridiculous consulting fees, we can and have shut that kind of stuff down in the past. I mean, I'm of the same opinion. I don't know why we're still in the GNRC. We were still paying dues to the GNRC, but we just voted to shut down, like unanimously, I believe, to shut down continued funding to the Regional Transportation Authority. So,
Last year, it was last year, I was like,
anyway, that's
All right.
my answer.
So, did that answer your question?
not really, but that's okay, I get it.
So,
You have a discussion on this?
yes, I still have worries about it because I just feel like there's so many, I know, but there's so many programs and things that we can do or that we don't do. And I love Toby's heart on that. I really believe it's all in the right place. I just know that it's not my money, and I don't know how I'll vote if this passes through, but I feel like that right now I don't feel comfortable voting yes on it. So just want to make the understanding of where I am, if anybody wants to call me and, you know, talk to me on it, that's my constituents. That's really the main thing.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
We got, I'm gonna abstain on this one, the ayes have it, so.
My eyes with the caveat that I will reject this if it comes back for the presentation and I don't like it.
Yeah, so will I.
All right, item F is the law director lien release, that was added, to the agenda. Mr. Law Director, I'll make a motion, this for approval. If I can get a second, we can discuss everything's going.
Second.
Mr. Law Director, do you want to explain this really quick?
Yes, we got asked by a citizen to, actually, somebody representing them to prepare a release for a certain piece of property. And I was not sure why they were asking the county to do that, so I had to do some digging and found out that we were floating a home program, homeowners rehabilitation deed of trust that was executed in 2014. And I don't know, I reached out to finance, they weren't familiar with this any more than I was, and basically the terms of the deed of trust, whether there's payments received or not, over time it reduces 20%. So even if no money was received as a condition of this note, the amounts owed got waived. So I see no valid reason why we aren't obligated to release this lien on the piece of property. The person that received the deed of trust is now deceased, and I believe they're trying to clean up title so they can move it.
Oh, we already did.
Oh, I thought it was moved to discuss.
I just a question, I guess I'm reading the third paragraph, I guess this cover says, not sure when the rehab project was complete, was advised by Kim Norfleet, the program administrator, that the project was complete. She also stated, as you remember, Mr. Holt signed a release of lien for this deed of trust. We've exhausted all of our resources and cannot find a release of a lien of record.
I looked as well, and there's not one of record with the Register of Deeds office.
Okay, so we're just remedying what?
We're statutorily obligated to release this lien.
Okay.
Otherwise, we could be subject to penalties.
We've got a motion to approve and a second.
Just to clarify, did you see that sentence after that kind of made, when I read it, preparing earlier, when we were just sitting here, I think that we often find that the executed releases are sent directly to the homeowners, and they simply did not understand they need to record the release. It could have most likely just been sent to her and she didn't know.
I don't know.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
We're obligated to file it with the Register of Deeds, so if somebody did that, that is not the proper way to do it.
I got it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. And item G was the 3-star grant. Have a motion for discussion.
Second.
We skipped over teachers in support.
Well, that's under commission
That's
recognitions and
Oh, yeah, that was
proclamations.
Oh, I thought it was E.
E under
Under
10.
10.
Oh, I am so sorry.
That's okay. A motion for discussion. Mr.
Second.
Teacher?
He seconded it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I don't know what anybody knows about the 3-star. I had a question that I guess I emailed to the mayor and did not get an answer. That he's not here tonight, unfortunately. I guess I wanted to see 3 priority term long goals and 3 priority short-term goals. And I mean, what is the 3-star program? Does it deal with the cities? I mean, what is it? Just the county? Does anybody remember what this obligates us to?
I should make a motion to persist to next month when the mayor can explain.
Second.
All right. Motion to defer until June. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Becker?
Is there any timeline that in theory you need to be aware of? Anyone knows about?
Be another question for the mayor.
We'll ask him next month.
We don't.
Right, I'm just curious. I mean, if you can wait till next month, that's fine. I'm just saying
I'm not sure.
if there's a timeline that needs to happen before next month.
All I see is eligible grantees, excuse me if I may, June 1st, 2025 grant applications will open on June 1st, same date.
July 1st.
To June.
There's an application notice.
eligible grantees.
From July
On the
1st.
bottom, it says it opens.
Says goals are due June 1st, application will open June 1st.
This was the first my office had seen of it as well.
Well, that's why we put.
So we didn't vote?
Not yet, we have a motion to defer in a second.
I still feel like it needs to be.
Voted on that, defer it.
I snuck in. the
You
question.
had a question, so the vote didn't
All
count.
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, Commissioner Becker is no. We'll keep that under old business.
Motion to group and approve 10A through D.
Motion to group approved by Commissioner Schoaf. We have a second.
There's an E.
I don't know what E is.
E is teachers and support staff. resolution.
Okay, motion to group and approve 10A through E.
Second by Commissioner Becker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And the zoning, this is second reading or first reading? This is, this is for a second reading. So this will go to the full commission, next Monday. It received a positive recommendation from the planning commission.
Motion approved.
Commissioner Miller voted no on that.
Yep.
You have a question?
Yeah, can I ask Commissioner?
We have a motion
Motion approved.
by Commissioner Becker to group and approve. Do we have a second?
I'd like to ask.
We got a second for discussion.
Second for discussion.
All right. Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you. Could you explain why you voted no?
We've had several, things come through with this mini storage PUD. It's kind of a mess, and it actually, the neighbors keep coming, and some of them are on well water, and it's causing them to flood, and they're scared that their water is gonna be tainted. There's just a lot of issues for me personally.
Is this the same one we've heard at the
Yes.
commission floor several
It's
times?
the same property, but this is a different owner. It's that same, over there by Dollar General.
I will note my
Sure.
apologies. We don't need a motion for this one. This is for
We don't.
docketing purposes only, so this is just.
But I just wanted for the record.
Yeah, it's correct. So this is, there's
What-
problems with it.
What changed about it? Just the ownership?
No. I don't think the ownership changed. I think it's,
It's still
I have to go look at my notes, because we've had so many of these, literally, there's been like, it's been coming to us like 6 times.
Yeah.
And it's like, it started with one person, and then it just,
I need explanation as to
Yeah.
why I should change my vote from the previous several times that I voted no against it, so I want to hear more about it.
I'll-
I guess we'll get the chance of the commission, right?
Monday night.
yeah, I'll be
Correct.
glad to look at
Motion
my
to
notes.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Kristen. Kristen, thank you.